I guess I should have, yeah, at some point check for at least four of those I haven't deleted yet. So I was looking in regards of this thing again, and I think I didn't really find but of course I'm sitting on the mobile, but I did find the video that I was looking for, the Kirkwall scroll, and this is in regards of Freemasonry linked to the Knights of, what's it called, the Knights of, let's see if we can find it, Knights, the Templar Knights maybe, yep. Yeah, Templar Knights. And he also had a unholy grail of the Knight Templar and all that. Anyway, then we have all the disgusting things from South America in regards of Cult of the Dead and all that. Of course, it pretty much just links in some sense back to Rome, and Rome doesn't really, as long as Rome is in control, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it seems. So you have infiltration everywhere. So this was in regards to the I have a coin as well that I took a screenshot of. Let's see if it's go down here. Where did I? Good question. It's always hard to find the folder that I need because it makes all these, images of different things instead of just, putting them in a. Anyway. By the way, in regards of Knights of Columbus, interesting that they have this, what's it called, fasci in the middle. It's the same thing if you look at the American, what's it called, building. They have two fascias in the. So can't remember what the name of, but anyway, we also have a fascia. If you actually go to, have a stamp with Hitler and Mussolini on it, and on the side of Mussolini there's this fasci, and on the other side there's the Roman eagle, and so both things, as far as I can see, go back to Rome. All roads leads, to the Roman Emperor and the Roman, Emperor, in regards to the Roman Empire. So the head of that, in regards of the Antichrist and all that. So let's see here. There we go. So this is IHS, Knights Templar symbol on coin 1480. The Jesuit order was officially established in 15 August. In regards of Augustine, 1534. And this coin is from 1418. 1480. Sorry, 4080. And we have the IHS. But anyway, what was interesting on the other thing, on the scroll, was that the letters are not in order. If you want to have these three letters to have something in regards of, being in regards of Jesus and all that, it's kind of interesting that when you see this old thing, that it's actually not. Oh, here we go. See if ISH, and see where the IH. No, is it the same? No, it's not the same. Okay, I was like, okay, maybe I was just so we have the IHS on this. It's really annoying. This okay. IHS, that's the normal, where they say it, it's a short form of something in regards of Jesus. Let's try to find that. IHH, short form of, I've just seen it, not long ago, form of, so, I see IHS stands for abbreviations or something like that. I see here what it say. Should be something in regards. Oh, no answer. Should be. I actually just saw it from one of these. I think it actually was taken from one of the occult books in regards of Jesus and all that. Yeah, the Jesus, the Savior of man, from the Latin, is not the true historical roots of the EHS. Okay, there's some more in regards to that, I guess. Let's see here. What does EHS stand for? The meaning of the holy name of Jesus. Well, see if there's anything we can find that. The insignia IHS is associated with this feast, but what does IHS mean? Why is a IHS a sign for the name of Jesus? Question mark. So there you see the IHS. So see, the name Jesus in Greek is written Jesus, which is transliterated as Jesus. Okay, yeah, see, Jesus, okay. And pronounced Jesus. This is the holy name as it is written in the Gospels. Now, of course, his name wouldn't have been a Greek name, but anyway. It would be, be in Hebrew, Yeshua. Anyway, however, in Hebrew, the name Jesus is written, Yeshua. So he pretty much just pronounces as a J and an A and a Y, like J, and then you have the shu, Yeshua. So it's, if you want to have an easy pronunciation in regards of everybody should be able to actually, easy, it would be Yeshua. Anyway, and not Yesh, they have Yeshua, but you don't really get the Yay. And it's Yay, there's two dots. It's the Nakud of two dots, and that's a Yay sound. It's not like Yehovah. Yehovah has the Shiva, I think it's called. Yeah, it's little time since I did. But there you have Yehovah, but Yeshua is in regards of a Yeshua. Anyway, which is translated as Yeshua and pronounced Yeshua. Well, again, I would, again, because people would say Yeshua, but it's Yeshua. Anyway, whatever. Finally, in Latin, the holy name is written Jesus, which gives us the English Jesus, since the J often replaces the I, and that's true. If actually, there's a whole mess in history when you go back in time in regards to the I and the J and the Y. As there's a lot of things going on in different languages in regards of then the U and the V, of course, but that's not really in regards of the Yod in the Hebrew and the Yota in Greek. But anyway, at the beginning of the word, as well as between vowels, the insignia IHS comes from the Latinized version of the Greek Yeshu. Update in Greek capitals, this would be Yeshu or Yeshus in Latin letters, taking the first letter in capital IHS, much as the popular Rairo symbol, pictured right XP, comes from the first two letters of the Greek word for Christ, Christos, okay. This is the true meaning of IHS. It is the first three letters of the Greek spelling of the holy name of Jesus. The insignia is nothing more and nothing less than the symbol of the holy name. Jesus is the Savior of man. Yeah, okay. So, Jesu hominum salvator. Jesus, the Savior of man. So that's the idea of what it means, IHS. It is popular legend that the IHS stands for the Latin phrase Jesu hominum salvator. Okay, so it's apparently a legend. Jesus is the Savior of all men. While this is fine devotion, it is not historical accurate. Now, just, I don't know what source this is from, so I'm just, looking. It could be false information or whatever I'm reading here. Just doing some research. The IHS symbol was so popular that it's not uncommon to find the Latin Jesus misspelled as Jesus with the H added, although in Greek this H is equivalent to the Latin E. In fact, the first known use of the AIS abbreviation comes in the 8th century. Den Ihs or something like that. The first three words being abbreviated from Dominus Jesu Christus, the Lord Jesus Christ is the King of Kings. For further explanation of the history of the IAS, see the Catholic Encyclopedia article here and there. Yeah, I wouldn't really have much trust in, but anyway, it would be, of course, to see their point of view, what they say. Still, although historical inaccurate, there is certainly nothing wrong with seeing in this insignia a testimony to the truth that there is no other name under the heaven given to men whereby we must be saved. Most certainly Jesus alone is the Savior, and without his grace we cannot neither attain nor even desire everlasting life. In hoc signa vinci, in this sign you will conquer. Oh. Huh. So that's spelled the same thing? In hoc signo vinci, but they have the vinces. In this sign you will conquer. I guess in hoc signo, in this sign. Okay, well you could probably, anyway, let's see. After 3 nails were added onto the insignia together with the cross above, some noticed that the inscription now contained a V below the AHS. Oh, okay, in regards of, okay, if you take the middle out in some sense, okay, you know, you could have a V, I guess. So that the inscription now contained a V below the AIS, so that we see AISV, see image on the side. In this form, it was adopted by Saint. My bad. You know, the most diabolic Ignatius as a symbol of Jesus. Jesuits. IHSV was interpreted to mean in hoc signo vinces, in this sign you shall conquer. Actually, in some sense, that would actually in some sense make sense if you know a little about the Jesuits in regards of that they are the soldiers to conquer the whole world for the Antichrist. So in that sense, that would actually make perfect sense, I think, but I don't know in regards of it, you know, it's just, you know, just doing some study here. It was taken as a reference to the victory which Constantine won against Maxentius at the Milvian Bridge on 28 October 312. Before the battle, the future emperor saw a sign in the sky, probably the Greek Riro XP, the symbol of Christ, and heard the words in tauto vika, which is Greek for in this sign you shall conquer. Well, as far as I understand it, he heard it in Latin words. That's the, again, you know, there's so many weird stories about this event and what he saw and this and that, and you know, I guess Satan is trying to disrupt the waters or something like that, because how hard can it actually be to just keep to historical sources? Apparently I have problems with the network connection, according to this anyway. Okay, hopefully it is running again. Again, I don't know why it would complain about the connection, but as a tip, I have to find out a fix for this, or stop actually doing these live sessions and see if I can just, you know, record and then, you know, and upload the things. So, but anyway, there's a lot of different stories in regards of Constantine and all that, and just, you know, how hard can it be, you know, to get things right. Now, of course, you know, usually you hear that, you know, that it's in Latin, that he hears these things in Latin, and now this guy apparently says it's Greek. Anyway, which is Greek for "in this sign you shall conquer." The phrase was translated into Latin, and it was noticed that the first letters of each word added up to IHSV. Thus was born the legend that IHS stood for Constantine's vision and the Christianization of Rome. Most certainly, in the holy name of Jesus, we shall conquer every enemy, and the last enemy to be destroyed is death itself. Oh my. Well, if you're talking about the Antichrist, of course, and you see the what do they call the fish hats, and I guess there's apparently a so-called saint, whatever, with the sun in his hand. Well, anyway. Apparently we have some kind of prayer, whatever. I wonder if this is actually a Catholic source in the first place. Yeah. It says, "Dear so-called Father Ellens." So apparently this must be a Catholic if he's... if they're calling them Father and all that, this is probably a Catholic source. Wouldn't be a surprise, of course, but don't call anyone on earth Father. Of course, the Catholics, as usual, have a twisting on that, as they do with all the other, things. It's just disgusting how, Roman Catholics, really have to be careful about these people. Then we have the Catholic Encyclopedia, in regards to different things, in regards to the age. IHS was sometimes wrongly understood as Jesus hominum salvator, as to say Jesus the savior of man, or Jerusalem. Okay, so that maybe it's the same source. So let's see here what they say. So they say they're wrong in regards of, Jesus hominum salvator, as Jesus the savior of man. So what do they believe? Usually wore it on his breast toward the close of the Middle Age. IHS became a symbol quite like Riro in Constantine's period. Okay. These Greek monograms continued to be used in Latin during the Middle Ages. Eventually, the right meaning was lost, and erroneous interpretation of IHS led to faulty orthography. Jesus in Latin, the learned abbreviation IHC rarely occurred after. Okay, whatever. Anyway, Catholic sources, no. Did I close it? I closed the window. Defesto SS. Oh well, let's just go with the thing that we were actually looking into, So some believe that the IHS is actually more in regards of Isis, Horus, Seth. And of course, apparently they say that there's sometimes a JHS, okay. And here it says it is a short form of Latin inscription, Isis hominum salvator, but that seems to be the other source let's open the... It seems to be in regards to the Catholic Encyclopedia saying that's not true. Again, then you need to use time for trying to figure out what is going on and this and that. Let's see what Wikipedia says. Christogram. In any case, in regards of Christogram and Latin, I would never. In regards of Latin, I would keep far away from Latin. The name Jesus, spelled Yeshu in Greek, capitals, has the abbreviations IHS, also written JHSIHC or IHE. Like Enigma, is it Enigma or something? Anyway, the name Christos, spelled Christos, has XP and inflectional variants such as IX, XPO, XPS, XPI, XPM. In Eastern Christian tradition, the monogram ICXC with overline indicating scribal abbreviation is used for Yeshu Christos in both Greek and Cyrillic tradition. I see the IHS. In the Latin-speaking Christianity of medieval Western Europe, and so among Catholics and many Protestants today, the most common Christogram became IHS or IHC, denoting the first three letters of the Greek name Jesus. Iota, Eta, Sigma, or IH. It's a Sigma. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's a Sigma. Okay. Not a. What did I go up here? Okay, that's a Sigma. Okay, yeah. There's three Sigmas. There's then there's the round one, and there's this round with a hole in some sense at the side. Anyway, the Greek letter Iota is represented by I, yeah, and Eta by H, while the Greek letter Sigma is either in its lunate form represented by C or its final form represented by S, because the Latin alphabet letter I and J were not systematically distinguished until the 7th century. J and JHS and JHC are equivalent to IHS and IHC. Now, okay, if you see I and J, it's just in regards of the way to pronounce it. And actually, I think they made some mistakes in regards to the name. When you see I think it's the King James Version compared to the Geneva Bible, or maybe it's just older versions compared to newer versions in regards to where they put in the J, but they don't do it all the places where the J actually should have been. And the I is still standing on some of the places where the J, the J sound should have been. Anyway, not making it easy in regards of if you want to get closer to the name in Hebrew. So anyway, so here we have IHS is sometimes interpreted as meaning Yeshu Hemeteros Sokt, or what is it called? So see, that's that's an omega sothia or something like that. Yeshu Hemeteros Soter. Okay, Soter. Okay, so Jesus our Savior. Or in Latin, Jesus hominum or hero soli me salvator. Jesus Savior of men of Jerusalem. In Latin, or connected with in hoc signo, English language interpretation of IHS have included in his service. Such interpretation are known as back-formed acronyms. I guess in regards of, we have seen this in hoc signa on rings and so forward, where there, for example, I think actually there's skeleton's head, like, let's try that, in hoc, was like signa or something like X signo, and ring. I think you can actually find it with a skeleton head on it. Diabolically skeleton head. You can find it in all these secret societies and all that. I believe I've seen it with a skeleton head in it. Maybe it was from the Nazis in regards to the Nazi ring. Might be the Nazi ring that I saw the skeleton head. So here we have in hoc signo vinces. I wonder what vinces then. Oh, in design conga. Is that what we are in design conga? Oh, in design conga vinces. I think that actually might be the thing. Let's see here what it actually. Maybe we can also see what it means. But I'm pretty sure I've seen it with a skeleton head as well, and I think it might actually be by Knights Templar ring in hoc signo vinces, or a Freemason ring, and other rings and all these satanic groups seem to go together. You know what is it called? What is it called? Flocks together. What is it called? Feathers. Something seems to flock together, or something like that. Of the same kind flocks together. Isn't that something? Anyway, so that was, I guess, in regards to in this sign conga. I think it was some SDC meaning here. And at least it is used in our days by satanic groups like the Freemasons, the Templars, all of them pretty much working for the Antichrist, even if they think they are against each other and all that. In hoc signo vinces is a Latin phrase meaning in this sign you will conquer. Oh, there we go. That's actually interesting, because if the Freemasons and the Templars are using it, of course, in regards of the Jesuits, might also in regards of pretty interesting if they actually hide the V with but I'm pretty sure I actually have seen this with a skeleton, and it might actually be in regards to the SS. Of course, all roads leads to Rome, but anyway, let's see if we can find it. SS Nazi. Of course, the SS was in regards of a blueprint, again in regards to the Jesuits. So again, that would be another link. That would be interesting. Let's see here, Nazi. Oh, we are in the. Let's see if I'm pretty sure I've seen it. Here we have, and then by the way, just remember this is Latin. Why would it be in Latin, right? No. I'm pretty sure I've seen it with a skull, which of course wouldn't be a surprise in regards to all these, these insanities. But I guess, it could be a V, the bottom thing in regards to the sign of, the sun sign, and this sign Congo. Here we have the Nazi eagle with the Nazi sign in regards of sun worship. Here we are in hoc signo vinces Peru. Well, again, the Roman Catholic Church. Here we have I have another one as well. Here you see the cookie that they knew that this symbol represents the sun, by the way. And I have another one. There's probably more out there, but you see, one of the other ones I have is Hitler in the foreground, and you see this in his, as the sun in the background. And I've seen where they're talking about, going, forward in regards to the sun. You can pretty much, the guy that wrote this knew something in regards to what this actually means. But I'm sure you can find more symbols and all that. That was when I did research in regards of all this sun worship and all that. This is also interesting. Of course, you have a group of Freemasons that is called Shriners, and they, in regards to Mohammed religion and all that. Sorry, it's stuck at the moment. It has a way of getting stuck. I'm pretty sure I can find it if I just search. I think I've seen it when I was searching on, Oh, yeah, here we go. At least that's one. In hoc signo vinges. Why would that be a skeleton head on it? And I think you can find Nazi rings as well with it. SS rings. Maybe I should just put in regards of. So there you see just more things in regards of going down. That was interesting. This, see, cut. Okay, let's see. SS rings. SS Nazi rings. See if we can find it. You see a lot of things. Here we have the skeleton head anyway. And the two symbols of the lightning. And in regards to the lightnings, SS, I think it was actually for, it stood for something. You know, you have the visible standing for something. I have problems again with the... Okay. Maybe no, I can't. No, you can't use the YouTube program because you need to have so and so many subscribers to actually use the YouTube application. You know, so instead of actually, you can't even do that if I remember. So here we have the Roman eagle, and the SS, if I remember correctly, has a deeper meaning also from the Latin. At least there's something in regards to that. But we are not looking, we're looking for the in hoc thing in regards to the ring. No. No, that's the eagle again with the sun symbol. In regards to the solar symbol. Well, we have a lot of dead skeletons, of course. You know, the Roman Catholic religion is just, you know, yeah, it's a religion of death, you know, pretty much. So I guess they, you know, they love death, it seems, you know. They really, you know, some of their places where they have skeleton, you know, bones and this and that. And it's so disgusting. It's utterly disgusting. I can't find it at the moment. At least we can find the new... I can't remember if this symbol actually goes back to Knights in regards to the Knights of Malta or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. It is cross thing, you know, that a lot of the Nazis was running around with. But again, all these symbolic stupidities, you know, it's just doesn't really look like it's from God, does it? It looks really demonic, which of course, in regards to the world. Why would anyone run around with this, you know, this sick stuff, you know? I don't understand why I can't find it, but I think I've seen it. Anyway. Maybe it's from the, you know, in regards to the Knights of Malta, stars from the Nazis that, I don't know, that might also be, I just thought I saw it as a ring. Meine Christnisti, I don't know. There's the eagle again. Well, there's a lot of eagles, of course, with the sun symbol. Yeah. I think I actually, by the way, the stamp, I think I actually had the sun symbol and the eagle together. But here we see what looks like a knight of, I think it's Knight of Malta or something like that. But anyway, I might be wrong. Anyway, I have all these symbols. You can actually, as I understand it, the Nazis actually had where you could, you know, order different things. They had a catalog of these things, and like the bugle belts, for example, where they had good uns, what's it called? God is with us, it means in English. You can find multiple bugle belts. Let's see here. With God uns mit or something like that. Sorry, I couldn't really find I just think I've seen but anyway, the SS also have, you know, you have the standard version, what it means, and then you have a Latin in regards of what it could actually mean in regards to the background of it in the secret. Anyway, going back to Rome, of course. Let's see here, buckle belts and Nazi buckle belts. I'm not even sure I need to write in what it actually needs to be, because it should probably come up with the buckle belts. Let's see. No. Let's see here. Yeah, God mit uns, but there we have the skeleton head. I do wonder which God they're worshipping. Well, you find out there. God mit uns, and that's the cookie Jesus in the middle of the Roman Catholics with the sun symbol as well. Now, I've read a source, at least one source, that said that Hitler got this symbol from a Catholic church. Now, that of course wouldn't be a surprise, but anyway. But that is their God. It's the devil. It's Satan. Anyway, but God mit uns means God is with us. And you can see the eagle with the sun symbol. And I guess it must be some kind of laurels of victory or something like that in the bottom. I'm not entirely sure of that. But if you see in regards to the Roman religion, you can get these, And you can also see the letter in regards of Hitler, in regards of the laurels of victory to, Hitler that was a protector of the Christian religion or whatever, And here we actually see like an SS with the eagle and the sun symbol. Meine Christi, I have no idea. I have not seen that before. Meine Christheit. I don't know. Let's check a picture of that. But there you see the Roman eagle with the SS, which means something in Latin in regards of. As far as I know, it was a little hard to find it again. So I do wonder if I would need a little time to look it up. But it's two S's, and of course it's in regards of lightning as well, which also, as far as I understand, it has some pagan things and all that. And then of course we have the sun symbol just in the, here. So yeah. So the Roman eagle is carrying the sun symbol. God mit uns, and here we see again the cookie with the sun symbol in the middle. All roads leads to Rome, people. Here we have an SS thing, buckle belt. Here we have a spade with a sun symbol in it. We have something. Meine Christi, this seems to be the same in regards of the. I'll just, fix it so I can look it up. Oh, no. And we have another form of the, and it doesn't matter which way. Of course, you can also find this symbol in Freemason lodges. I've seen pictures of that. But of course, it doesn't really matter which direction it actually goes, because you have the feminine and the masculine. So, it's just pretty much the same thing. If you look on the Nazi flag, it's it looks like the Catholic cookie. Just look up the Eucharist in regards of the symbols and all that. It's just all roads leads to Rome, people. And of course, no one will probably see this video anyway. It's very sad that people don't care about what is going on in this world, It seems to be under the wings of the Antichrist these days, and so few speaks up. I do wonder what this is. Blut und. I have no idea. Let's take a screenshot of that. Also makes sense when you then see these Roman Catholics being like totally nutcase. What do you call it? Totally. What do you call when you have girls that are like, totally. I'm missing the word, yeah. It's like, and you see these Roman Catholics priests being like, ooh, in regards of Nazi equipment and all that. And you're thinking, why would that be? Well, yeah. But they had it seems like they had some pretty good belts in regards of, they had pretty good leather, big belts, these Nazis, a good leather belt is very nice, and it can actually keep a long time instead of buying these stupid belts that breaks all the time, that's the problem, with this world, things are made to break, because then you need to buy something new. It's the stupidity, this world. And we are complaining about too much. They're complaining in the same time of too much stress and, oh, it's our fault and blah, blah, blah. Yet the companies are on purpose making the things so they don't last. I just saw some of these stupidities that I shouldn't really look on these so-called dragons, and you have these, I have problem. How can I have problems with the network connection? Guess it's just Google, YouTube that sucks. Okay, let's just try to let it stay there at 3G, but that should be worse than the other things. Reichweite, okay. Here we have a skeleton head, but no, anyway. Sadly, not with what I was looking for. I'm just sure I've seen it with a skeleton head in regards of in this, like the thing that, well. Why is it not pasting the things that I copied before? Paste. Oh, give me a break, Yeah, technology, when it works, is great, but when all these stupidities because of these companies that are probably controlled by Rome anyway in regards of all the groups down the line, well, they tend to not make it easier but obstruct how things are run and all that. Now I can't, in hoc sigmi, in hoc, was there something like in hoc? Hoc, let's see if we can, no, can't get anything forward here. Oh yeah, in hoc signo vinces. Oh, my brain is pretty much fried, so it's hard to remember all these things. Okay, let's try again and have a look. Okay, here we have in regards of Catholic stuff. We have the symbol here in hoc sin vinces in regards of the sign conga. Here we have, I can't remember if that's some of the knights or something like that in regards to the Hox, okay, in hoc single vinces, and then you have a cross, and you have the cookie Jesus and all that. In the Gospels, it's never talked about this like a dry, unleavened bread. It's bread. He breaks the bread, and gives it to his disciples. In hoc signo vinces, in hoc sig. I think this has something to do in regards of either Freemasons or Knights of some kind. Of course, you have the Freemasons also having some Knights stages and so forward. Here we have in hoc sign something, okay. I guess one of the symbolic things with the hands and all that. Here we have a skeleton heart. Okay, in hoc signo vinces, a cross to the, the devil. And here we have, I guess, the Knights of, yeah. Actually, I guess they have this, I wonder if that's actually in regards of which group of knights it actually is, if it's the Knights of the Templars or if it's actually Knights of Malta, because I think the Knights of Malta is using something in regards of that symbol as well. Anyway. And then it stands in front of a cross. I have the swastika with in hoc signo vince. No, that's not really anything on it. In hoc signo signin or something like that. Okay. But of course, who are they conquering the world for? Well, they're conquering the world for the Antichrist, not Jesus Christ. Oh, here we have, Sigrene Insedi, and actually updated the, so it looks like the Pope, a skeleton. I'm not sure what that's about, but a lot of skeletons, and that fits that religion. It's the religion of death. It's the opposite of the religion of Jesus, which is the religion of life. So in hoc signo signiv, and you have the, the symbol that they use for Jesus. Never like a Templar, right? So in hoc signo vinces, did Jesus say we should go out and conquer the world for him with the sword of the hand? No, of course not. In regards to the Crusades and all that, nothing to do with Christianity. Jesus never said we should go out and fight with the sword of the hand. Are not told to go out and kill people. Christians are told to go out and spread the good news of Jesus Christ. A star of some kind. Again, this is something of what I'm thinking about, where it's in hoc sigma, and I just think it was on the Nazi. I think I've seen it on a Nazi ring. I'm pretty sure I've seen a ring with this thing. When I did research, Congo in this name apparently. Congo, and then we have the laurels of victory, I would think. I'm not entirely sure of that, but when you have a first place or something like that, you get the. And here we have a skeleton head again in regards of in hoc signo thing, but not really a Nazi. And here we have the eye of Satan in regards to that looks like, I don't know. Anyway, sword and a shield. Okay. I do wonder what that group actually knights, right? In regards to the Templars knights and so all that. So not sure how that goes together, but all these satanic groups, all these secret societies goes back to Rome. If you go, high enough in the levels and degrees, it's Christians say that, oh yeah. And then you have, to say, oh, it's a Christian organization. Bullshit. Utterly bullshit. Here we have something in regards of a knight on top of it. I'm pretty sure if one looked further into it, one could probably figure out if it actually goes back to one or the other group, or maybe more groups. But we have the Latin letters there. We have different secret hand signs and all this stupidity and secrecy and abomination. But anyway, we got pretty much off the real topic, of course. Yeah. By the way, it's said to be the day of trumpet this Sabbath. So it's the day to blow the horn, to be remembered by God. In hoc signo vinces, and there we have the Knights of Malta. I think that's the Knight of Malta sign, if I remember correctly. So we have the Knights of Malta working for the Antichrist, and the Knights of Columbus working for the Antichrist, and the Freemasons as well. And I see pretty much everybody's working for the Antichrist these days. Maybe I could find it in regards to the Ihs. Here we have. It's really hard to actually see what is found on the crucifix. Personally, oh, here we have the two-headed eagle in regards of masonry, in regards of order of chaos, order out of chaos. That is one of the, controlling both sides, like it seems they did in the World War II, and just make a lot of murder and killings, and, I guess a kind of inquisition, just in the name of war. It's so disgusting. This world is just so utterly disgusting. And here we have a cross, and on top of it is like a triangle. Might go back to in regards to the false god. Then we have in regards to this sign Congo, and then you have the skeleton head at the bottom. You have to be kidding me, And I'm not sure if it goes back to in hoc signo vinces, and they have the P and the E and the C. Not sure what that stands for, but I don't know. Maybe if I push it, view file. Let's see if it says if it goes back to Ah, any case. All that, there's symbols and disgusting things. Let's try to say, okay, but anyway, IH. It would be actually, seeing all these, being used with the V, actually, I must say, in regards to the Jesuits, it's interesting. Looks like, Templar symbol, all the, or in regards of, here we have the AHS, having some of those three words. In hoc signo vinces and on the cross. Yeah. Do wonder in regards of, do we have cross? Okay. So if that actually meant in this sign conga, so in the sign of the cross, go out and conga. Is that what we are out again? And here we have the sun wheel, it seems. And we have the P and the thing, but we have the sun wheel. We have the, if you look on Saint Peter's, where the penis is standing in the middle of it, it looks a little like that. Maybe I'm just a little like it. When you have the when you have the phallus in the middle of it. And here we have a cross at the side as well, a cross here. So I guess there's a cross on the other side as well. And I guess, there might be some symbolic in regards to how many rays there are, or how many of these there are, I guess one could count them and see if there's anything in regards of maybe the number 666. How is it you count one, and then there's a 2, and you can count 1 and 2, that's 3, and then 5, and so forward, and see if there's any way you can actually get up to. They have a way of hiding the things, in regards to the number 666. They just they usually hide the things. Here we have another in regards of in hoc signo vinces. Okay. Here we have a Knights Templar. Okay. Looks like a Knights of Malta thing. Apparently, I shouldn't probably say back. I should probably just... Okay. Here we have a lot of symbols as well. The two-headed eagle, it seems. And crosses and this and that. In hoc signo vinces. The cross, the Freemason sign, and the, whatever you want to call it, this sign that is used by the Jews of today. It's used in the occult as well, that's for sure. The IHS, that's an interesting, IHS, cover the earth, yeah. That seems pretty, I do wonder if I can actually go to the website of theirs. I can view the file, but can I actually go to the... that's just okay. Someplace on the internet, I guess. Try to push forward here. Nope. Oh, come on. There we go. More of these secret symbols and all that. I have no idea why any people would be part of Roman Catholicism, All the links to Roman Catholicism is just utterly disgusting. In regards to the cross, go out and conquer. well, go out and conquer with the sword of the hand, apparently, because what does he have in his hand? Well, a cross. Sorry, a sword. And it's not the sword of the hand. It's the sword of the mouth that we're... Oh, it could actually go into... Oh, well. Simple, simple, symbols. No. Okay, it's doing fun stuff at the moment. Here we have some Catholic things, it seems, again. With that double cross, you know. Oh, I can push it up there instead, okay. See here. Anyway, couldn't find the ring I was looking for, so that's... Yeah, you have the sign in the background and the crown with the cross. And the two-headed eagle with the... You know, the great architect, as they call him. Well, Satan, pretty much. The all-seeing eye. Oh well, anyway, back to the video, I guess, in regards to the IHS, the Kirkwall Scroll. And this was set to actually go back to the Knights Templar. Let's see if I can find the place. Maybe I should just download it, actually. Of course, if I download it, it's just... yep, download. It will handle it a lot better than over the internet here. So, yep, let's just have the 408p. And let's download it. So, into the secret world of Freemasons. And of course, they're not that secret. Of course, they still have their secrets, but they're not that, you know, you can find videos of these, disgusting Satanists working for the devil. Oh yeah, they might seem to be doing some good things here and there and think themselves to be Christians and all that, but they should actually do some study, you know. We people, you know, we are so ignorant. We are really so ignorant and so, I guess, naive or something like that, you know. And, you know, one thing is to have people that don't know anything, but that's, of course, why you go to school, to learn the Bible and what Jesus says and all that. But apparently we have really fallen a long way from that. But let's try to open it and see if I can find it. Okay, so this is the Kirkwall Scroll, Freemasonry's link to the Knights Templar. And if I remember correctly, the Freemasons, you know, when they have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so forward, up to 33 degrees, plus, as I understand it, there are actually 6 degrees more. So you have 39 degrees of Freemasonry, where 39 is the top or head of Freemasonry. That's some information from a bishop, and I think I had 2 sources for it. I first saw it one place, and then I saw it from another place. But anyway, one of the guys said he was a 37-degree Freemason. But anyway, and he actually also had one of these symbols where he apparently was a high level knight of Columbus, and in regards of Malta and Freemasonry, and he talks about how many degrees and all that. I think it was like 4 degrees in what was it, Knight of Malta or something like that. Anyway, who cares? Well, of course, these Satanists, I guess it's nice to know a little about what they are actually into, but So a secret scroll of parchment that has been hanging in the Masonic lodge for nearly 3 centuries is believed to be one of the most important finds in Britain. The Kirkwall scroll, possessing secrets of the Knights Templar, has been dated with carbon dating to the 15th century. Well, of course, in regards of carbon dating, you have to be careful about that. But anyway, greatly increasing its importance. According to the researcher and historian Andrew Sinclair, an authority on history of Cambridge, canvas height of 15 feet is said to contain ancient symbols of great importance. Well, maybe important for the Satanist, but, you know, it's not really, well, of course, in regards of, you know, knowing that they're out there and discerning that these Satanists are running around everywhere. And why the world is as wicked as it is, and why things is as it is. Yeah, okay, let's, In the west wall of the Temple of Lords, Kirkwall Kilving number 38, hangs in Orkney one of the oldest and most important artifacts in the world for the Masons, known as the Kirkwall Scroll. And one thing, you know, there's a lot of symbols and all that. Let's see. The Kirkwall Scroll consists of 3 pieces of linen or canvas and painted strong sewn entirely by hand. The fabric completely hung on the wall is 5.5 meters high and 1.6 meters wide. It consists of a central band that contains hundreds of Masonic symbols and two outer strips seam maps. Okay, there we go. And they have this, this is the same thing in regards of these Satanist things, you know. Oh, this, you know, is written with the language of whatever, you know. That's one of these where Satan tries to lure you into stupidities and waste your time. And then we have in regards of dating it from the 15th century or the 14th. If true, this means that it is a document belonging to the Knights Templar during the anonymity after being forever abolished by Antichrist Clement V in 1312. Isn't it funny that this Antichrist, you know, look at this. He has apparently the power to abolish these people or this group. Isn't it interesting? You know, why would he have the, you know, the power to abolish, you know, some group? Well, maybe because the group is, you know, under his, you know, his feet, you know. So that's the same with the Jesuits, where one of the Antichrist, you know, abolished the Jesuit order forever, but apparently forever is not forever. And of course, as I understand it, he was poisoned, and another Antichrist instigated the Jesuits again, you know. So that's, yeah, it's a kind of interesting, what shall we say, an interesting, what is it called? You know, fellowship they have now. So, well, here we see the you know, the symbol up here, the Templar symbol, I guess. So let's go forward here. The researcher Andrew Sinclair, who discovered the existence of this document while the clan was investigating the family of St. Clair, who also underwent the test of carbon, wrote the same results, as to say, around 15th century, says on this document found in Roseland Chapel, Lord St. Clair of Orkney were strongly associated with the legendary Knights of Templar. Okay, so the Lord St. Clair of Orkney was strongly associated with the legendary Knights Templar, and the strength of the family in the Middle Tean is the site of Roslin Chapel, built by the Earl of Orkney, William St. Clair, in the 15th century. The chapel, known for its Masonic connections, so again we then see a connection with the Knights of Malta and the Freemasons, and of course in regards of the Freemasons and Rome, and of course the Knights of Malta as well, in regards of being under the wings of Rome as well. So, and then we have another group, the Jesuits, of course, which also seem to have some symbolic things in regards of. And I think some believe that the Jesuits are just an ongoing of the Knights of, the Templar Knights. But anyway, it's it's just all satanic bullshit, all of it, The chapel, known for its Masonic connections and symbolic carvings, and was built in memory of his grandfather, Count William of St. Clair, who, according to legend, formed a secret order to protect the Templars. A century earlier, Scottish speculative masonry associated with its symbolism, and is believed to many to have originated from there. The director of Roslin Chapel Hall, Bob Brydon, says the operational part of the Brotherhood related to the trade of guilds and masons was also strongly associated with, so-called St. Clair, as there is no doubt that the Kirkwall scroll has important implications. So here we have irrefutable evidence showing that masonry is a creation of the Knights Templar to protect themselves after being abolished. Here we present a copy of the roll Kirkwall. Yeah. Anyway, it all goes together, all these stupidities and these satanic groups. So here we have a lot of symbols, and I'll turn it around here. No, apparently, maybe I need to. There we go. And we're running. So different symbols of the Masons. And more symbols of the Masons. And yeah, apparently they just whatever. But what we're looking for is one particular thing on this thing. It looks like chess pieces going around, the king in the middle and maybe the queen, I don't know. And then we have the peasants and all that. And maybe it seems like it might in regard to the, I don't know, anyway. More symbols and symbols and symbols and symbols. And a map, apparently. Or maps. It seems like it'd be a snake on a tree. They have a way of using some of this, the biblical symbolic things. It reminds me a little of the Bible, where you have the Holy of Holies inside of it. And that was, it just seems like to be where you have the Holies of Holies in here. And so, that might actually be, and then the people around it, apparently. And the 4 flags and blah, blah, blah. Okay. And more symbolic insanity, I guess, We even have the 10 Commandments, I see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Now it's gone away. More symbols and the maps on this right side. And actually, it does look a little like Israel in regards of the right side, in regards of this, what is it called, Sea of Galilee or something like that, a little like that. I don't know, maybe it's not, maybe it's just a map of, who knows, but England or something like that. Here we go, here's the interesting part, because what's there in the middle? Well, there's a cross, and of course we have the dead head skeleton thing as well and all that. But we have ISH and not IHS. So why would it be like ISH and not IHS? Of course, in regards of Egyptian thing, some believe it means Isis, Set, and Horus. Of course, that wouldn't be a problem, moving around with the letters if that was the case. But I think it would be a little more difficult. See if the IHH would mean something else that they are, talking about. There we go, a close up of it. IASH, sorry. Now, of course, we had the ring from before the Jesuits, but that had it IHS. I don't know, maybe they just thought it was, I don't know. It's just, if we go to let's see if we can go to the picture again here. There we have the IHS, right? So, and that's from 1480. And the Jesuits was fixed in 1534. And if this is also a very old thing, it's just interesting. IASH. And then you have the cross, they use all this symbolic, Satan has his ways of, making a mess out of the truth. And that's pretty much not more of interest in, it's just all these symbols. And the sun and I guess it must be the moon or something like that with 7 stars. And something. But anyway. It actually looks like a person overlooking the things or something like that. Looked a little in regards to creation. The guy, he turns back to the ASH. Okay, let's see. Note over the cross, which is a tool of torture and martyrdom of our Lord, the letters IHS in a different order, demonstrating that they are acronyms used by the Templars and today by the use of the Jesuits. So, yeah, in a different order. And that is totally correct, it's in the different order. So if each letter stands for something, which could very well be, well, then it wouldn't matter in regards of the order, I guess, or at least, I don't know. But if you have where it needs to mean something specific, like what that part of a whole sentence, then of course it would be more important. And he also shows the coin, of course. Jesuit IHS symbol inside a sun. Yeah. It's like, oh, it's just always in, the sun, and you see the woman in Rome holding a sun in, the sun, the solar, not the sun as, she's holding the solar. It's a little hard in English because you have the sun and sun. It's very close together, but, sun with a U and a sun with an O. But in Danish, we don't have that problem. But anyway, the solar, she's holding the solar thing. And here we have the symbol on coin 1480, IHS. And you have the dot in the middle as well, by the way. And you have the ring around, it seems. Or do you? No. Oh, you have a ring that actually is not put together. I guess it must have some symbolic. No, on the other side actually is together, the ring. So what is wrong here? It seems to not be a ring that is together with the IHS, but on the other side it seems to be going together, saying something, I don't know. IHS, and with a dot in the middle. Some believe that the round and with a dot in the middle represent the sun. It's a sun symbol. I can't remember, maybe in alchemy that you actually learned that. when I was in Satan's candy shop and all that, and I've forgotten, I'm in some sense gladly forgotten a lot of the things that I that was looking into in regards of the occult in the past, but just sniffing to the different flavors in Satan's candy store, jumping from one flavor to another and so forward. And it's very easy to get these alchemist books. I think I had like 2,000 or something like that. So a lot of people out there must have been into these things. But anyway, it was very easy to get and all that. I think I downloaded 2,000, in a package and all that. And I was looking into which one I should get in regards of those that are most popular and all that. But they have these different symbols for the sun and for the moon and for the planets and for this and that and so forward. I think the sun symbol might actually have been this. Actually, we could take a look. Now again, I would not suggest anyone to go into Satan's candy store, or if you're still in Satan's candy store, I would, suggest you get out of the store. Let's see, alchemy. Well, this is also one of these satanic ways, where you're trying to make this, thing in regards of everlasting, and you get into a lot of stupidities. Alchemist symbols. Let's see if the symbol of the sun is not actually in regards of that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Exactly what I thought. Suns can correspond to gold, and they have all this, in regards of making, again, alchemy is in regards to where you have the visible meaning, and then you have the invisible meaning, or the, what do you call it? What is it called? There's some words in English for it. You have the outer teaching, and then you have the inner teaching. So you have the outer teaching for the people that don't know, and to keep the secrets, at bay from them. I don't really want to go more into these things. It is disgusting. But anyway, here we have the alchemist symbols and the meanings. There seems to be the moon and the sun. If we know this is the sun symbol, then. But anyway, look at the if you look at the and that would also, in regards of St. Peter's Square, you have a circle with a dot in the middle. And the same thing also, I think, was it Washington, D.C., where you have the obelisk or the erect penis standing in the middle, and then you have a ring around it, being a symbol of the sun. So, again, why would they have a dot in the middle of the, what's the idea of that? Well, maybe it's in regards of pointing to representing the sun. And when you see the sunburst around these things and all that, would it be a surprise? This is paganism. And of course, in the book of Revelation, it also talks about Apollo or Apollyon, which is in regards of, as far as my research goes, in regards of sun worship again. Maybe because it's all about sun worship. So that would be my suggestion on that, in any case. Yeah. There's probably more in regards of symbolic things in this. Some meanings that, some secret meanings and all that on the coin. But nothing that I really can... it's just, interesting with the dot in the middle and the round circle. Actually, I have a video from a Roman Catholic that also goes into this. And funny enough, he never mentions... He goes into the phallus, the obelix, the erect penis and all that is standing around, and we also have them in Denmark standing around and all that. Of course, we also have Freemasons around in this, lodges and so forward. We also have Jewish lodges in regards to B'nai B'rith and so forward. I haven't really looked more deep into it, but I'm sure one could find many interesting things in regards of who controls the country and so forward. Of course, it all goes back to Rome. We also have some Jesuits in Denmark. Of course, the Jesuits are all everywhere. And we have a school in Copenhagen as well. But I would think, but I haven't really gone deeper in it, but I would think a lot of our leaders was closet papists and probably, Freemasons, and the Freemasons would probably be controlled by some Jesuits. So I would think it would go in that direction, but I haven't really looked into it, and they might actually, they might have different safeties for people, researching, if someone is going to go deeper into it, they might actually have some, where it's like secret. What was it I was actually looking for? Oh yeah, the guy that actually, and he's a Catholic, and he's trying to make the Freemasons, the enemies of Roman Catholicism. Well, but they're still, both of them are working for the same, on the higher levels, they're just working for the same satanic system. So here we go. Like, for example, the bishop that says he was a 37-degree Freemason. Well, he was a bishop. Anyway, no, that's not here. I think I need to go to the other one here. Again, when technology is not working for you, but against you, because of Google crazy, closing a lot of features down, like for example that the program can just download the things to the memory card. No, you're not allowed to do that. You need to download onto the memory in the mobile. It's just stupidity. And of course, it's on purpose to make it... Oh, here we go. The communist and Masonic infiltrations of America and the Catholic Church. So here we, let's see here. He goes into...
Seek or accept instructions in any regard to the performance of my duties from any government... Geez, I thought George Bush was American. Or other authority external to the United Nations organization. You remember, we described, outright took it,
let's see.
Universe stuff, references to Father Matthew Fox, who promotes witchcraft, homosexuality, and lesbianism. If that is what remains of the Catholic Church, there isn't one. But that's not what remains, right? Because there are little twigs.
By the way, in the background is the satanic Joan of Arc that wanted to kill off real Christians. I have a letter from her. So, she's always being put in this light of being a saint, a so-called saint. And I think, as I understand it, she has been sainted by the Roman Catholic Church, even if it was the Roman Catholic Church that burned her on the stake. But I have one of her letters to the Hussites, and it's a most disgusting letter. Now, of course, I hope she was saved, or in regards of finding out that this Roman Catholic insane institution is wicked. But it seems she was deeply in it. And the letter to the Hussites is just wicked. It's just that she sees them as heretics, and of course heretics according to the Roman religion, the Roman Catholic religion, but the Hussites, it's just like Hussite was also burned on the stake for, it's incredible. It's just so why would you ever have a woman like that represents that in your church? Sending a letter like that, to the Hussites. And I can't remember the details of it, but also in regards of that she would go against them and so forward if it wasn't because she had other things to do. I think she was friends or something like that. But anyway, you can go look it up for yourself. It's a letter to the Hussites,
Springing up all over the place.
So already there, you have if you didn't know it was a Roman Catholic church, you already there have an idea that this might actually be a Roman Catholic. You get these pointers here and there from,
of truth, like this church here. Now,
because this guy is a Roman Catholic.
United that goes along with being an ambassador to the United Nations.
Oh, it's the United Nations oath. Of course, United Nations, which go back to Rome. United Nations of all the countries of the world, right? Isn't there someone that wants a world, a new world order? And who is going to head this new world order? Couldn't be the Antichrist, could it? Oh yeah, okay, it could. In regards to the world wars and fixing the European Union, which when we enter the European Union, which does probably other things, but we changed the day from, according to man-made law or the devil, we changed the last day to the sixth day and the first day to the last day. So in 1973 was the first day in Denmark where Sunday, the venerated day of the sun god Sol Invictus, was the last day of the week according to man-made satanic bullshit. Which of course doesn't matter because in regards to the law of the Bible always overrules the law of man. And and if it's
This is the oath that George Bush took in 1971. Most recently, Madeleine Albright took it. I solemnly swear to exercise in all loyalty, discretion, and conscience the functions entrusted to me as an international civil servant of the United Nations, to discharge these functions and regulate my conduct with the interest of the United Nations only in view, and not to seek or accept instructions in any regard to the performance of my duties from any government. Geez, I thought George Bush was American. Or other authority external to the United Nations organization. You remember, we described...
That's an interesting oath. Of course, we're told by Jesus that we shouldn't take any oath. So already there we have...
What communism was. If an individual promotes, supports, or works for the values of communism, then you can be pretty sure you got a ringer. Now, I'm not saying that everybody knows that he's a communist. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There are a lot of
that was very interesting in regards of communism and it's this we have these, what do you call it, leads that a lot of Stalin might have actually been trained by Jesuits, and Lenin as well I think had something in regards of it, and others. But anyway, Alberto talked about that communism was actually created by Romanism. That if Romanism hadn't been, there would not have been any Catholicism. And actually, this Catholic guy, I think, actually goes into that the Antichrist or the so-called Pope, or so-called Pope, is actually in regards of supporting communism, and he's like, as a Roman Catholic, he's very much against that, and he talks about what communism really is in the beginning and so forth. It's just the same demonic things.
Out there today
but anyway,
working on little self-help books, self-help videos. They're just trying to get ahead in the world. They don't realize that God is not of the world.
Now, if this guy is honest with himself, if this is not just one of these guys that is, working for, but if he's honest, at some point, looking for the truth would lead him out of the Roman Catholic insane asylum. But, who knows? But it's interesting that he actually talks about these phalluses and, these erect penises standing around the world and all that, and in regards of sun worship and all that, and yet not mentioning, he's defending the Catholic Church, not mentioning what is actually standing in Rome. I don't know why he's not mentioning that,
Because they go to church, they don't hear this. God the Spirit, the infinitely perfect Spirit, the all-just, all-holy, all-merciful, has been watered down to a cosmic human Christ who will not judge mankind and certainly will not condemn mankind. This is the religion of communism. And if they could promote mysticism, the New Age, or some other wacky thing.
Well, in regards of the New Age, it seems to go back to Freemasonry, and if we can link Freemasonry with the Templars and Rome again, well, it all leads to Rome again. You see, all these filthy things, as the Bible says, all leads to Rome. Isn't it interesting that the Bible is actually true? You know, you would think it's like, oh, this is extraordinary, but it's actually not.
To get people off track, and of course
you see these Freemason magazines where it talks about New Age, you know, promoting New Age and all that. They have a magazine called the New Age. So, but apparently they later on changed that name. That's like in regards to the UN, the United Nations, where they have Lucifer Trust in regards to publishing the books and documents and so forward. Yet, you know, that was apparently too obvious, so they named it Lucy Trust instead of Lucifer Trust. So Lucy is just, you know, a small form of Lucifer, and of course we also have movies, and you know, you see all these satanic things going on, you know, in regards of this evolution as well, where they use Lucy, you know, the Lucy, what is it called, the ape man monkey thing that has been proven to be false and all that, and but the name Lucy, why would they ever name it Lucy? Or maybe the guy that, you know, knew something, maybe he was a Satanist, who knows, but he named it Lucy. And we have this movie also called Lucy, where she's, you know, becoming God, you know. Anyway, it's all satanic, it's all deceptive, it's all...
You know, it's principalities and powers, right? Then Satan can just take more people to hell with him. Someone I know...
Again, when he uses hell here, again, that's the problem when people uses hell. Because what are they talking about? Are they talking about hell in regards of the realm of death in the earth? Or are they talking about hell in regards of the lake of fire? What are they talking about, you know? Yeah. And that's the problem when you use the word hell, because you have the lake of fire, which is in regards of the second death, where body and soul will perish forever and be no more. That is the second death, where you will be no more. You will, you know, your soul will be destroyed. Now the first death is only the body, it isn't the soul. The spirit returns to God, the body decomposes, and the soul sleeps in Sheol, or the realm of death, Hades, called in Greek. Anyway, and then awaits the resurrection to everlasting life.
I was on an airplane, and they were sitting next to an individual who was praying for much of the trip. As a matter of fact, she was a pro-lifer. She told my wife, she said, I thought, hey, this is okay. He's not talking to me, but he's praying. And that's good. I'm glad he's praying. She recognized he was praying. Finally, he stopped, and she made a comment to him about how great it was that he was praying. You know who he was praying to? Satan.
Yep.
Very top here. You can't read it very well. Let me have the... And here he is meeting with the Dalai Lama.
So this Roman Catholic is also, you know, having issues with the Roman Catholic system as well, but he's still in the system. He doesn't see what is actually, you know, behind this whole system. But in any case, he mentioned things that he thinks is utterly, you know, in regards to the communism and meeting up with these people and so forward, and yet he just cannot connect all the dots, or he don't want to connect all the dots. I'm not sure what is, you know, but of course the system in regards of liberal Catholics will just kill them off if it has the possibility of doing it. But anyway, let's go on.
And this is nothing other than a general occultism. Okay, Tom. Now here he is, sitting on a car at a synagogue at a Jewish temple. I showed these last time I was here. These things have never been done before, have never been seen before. What is he doing? The Jews killed Christ. Can you read the Bible? So now you're going to go out and be buddy-buddy with B'nai B'rith? How?
In regards of B'nai B'rith, as far as I understand, B'nai B'rith is Freemasons. There are different Freemason. And B'nai B'rith is the organization for the Jews. I've seen that some puts the B'nai B'rith on a higher level, but I'm not so sure about that. But anyway, they're pretty much a group of Freemasons, as far as I can see, and they were created later on. So they came later on in the thing. So I can't remember when they were created, but I did some research on that at some point. Anyways, just Freemason. Of course, the Jews, running away from the truth as well. You should expect that there would be some Jews that is part of this wicked system as well. But I think most of the Jews are pretty much like you and me or any other Gentile that don't know anything about what is going on and just following along in some sense. But yeah, you have Jews that are set in higher positions, but it's not the Jews that controls anything in regards of of course they control some, in regards of their power, but it's not the Jews that are in the pinnacle of power. It's the Roman Emperor or his shadow, the so-called Black Pope, the shadow of the White Pope, which is standing on this image here.
How can that be? How can that happen? Do you not understand all human Christian history? Okay, Tom. Now here he is.
And yes, it was pretty much the Jews that killed off Christ. When people are saying, oh, well, it was the Romans that killed Christ, well, Pontifex Pilatus didn't want to, execute Jesus. He's washing his hands to show that he don't want to have anything to do, but, they're forcing him to, I don't know how many soldiers he had at that point at his, but he might have been afraid of another, rebellion or something like that, and, so the Jews are forcing him to kill Jesus, So and Jesus is also saying to Pontius Pilatus that they have the that they have the bigger sin than he has, or something like that. Anyway, just be aware that some will say it's the Romans that killed off Jesus. No, well, it was the Romans that did it, yeah, but it was the Jews that forced the Romans to do it. So, yeah. So, yeah. Anyway.
Leaving the B'nai B'rith, March 22nd, 1984. And down below, here he is meeting with members of the Trilateral Commission.
So here this Catholic guy is showing some of the links in regards of the Antichrist standing with B'nai B'rith in regards of being Freemasons, as far as my research goes. Again, I've seen some place the B'nai B'rith at a higher level in the triangle system in regards of, if you can just control the top of the triangle, you can control it all down the way. Anyway, but, so he's standing with the B'nai B'rith and now the Trilateral Commission, which is another of these groups.
Steering committee, members of the Council on Foreign Relations, a bunch of Marxist hoodlums made up of people like Zbigniew Brzezinski and David Rockefeller, and CEOs. Henry Kissinger. It's quite a little gang. Here he is getting a little blessing from one of the adorers of.
So what you actually see here is the high pagan priest standing to the right, and also Dave Hunt has a wonderful video where he shows a lot of the things in regards of these images where he collects everybody in regards of this peace thing and all that. And there's another video that is from well, 3 years ago or something like that, where the Vatican is trying to, this guy believes in God, and this guy believes in God, and this guy believes in God, and we all believe that God is love, or something like that, or we all believe in love, and blah, 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 and in regards to worshiping God. But that's not biblical. If you do not believe in Jesus Christ, if the Mohammedans do not believe in Jesus Christ, and they don't, they might say they do, but they have their own fictive versions of Jesus, as so many other people out there have. But anyway, it's the Roman Catholics that cookie Jesus. But yeah, what was it? I think I lost. So everybody, in regards. So I was looking for the Bible. That was, if you go by the Bible, Jesus is the only way to the Father. No one comes to him but by me, by Jesus, by Yeshua. So, if Jesus says that, well, how is it that the Vatican is promoting, we all love, we're all worshipping the same God and blah? Well, in some sense that's true, because they're all worshipping Satan, not worshipping the biblical God and Jesus.
Bombay.
So
something is wrong. Do we not recognize something is wrong? I know all you do, but
So this Catholic is like, can't you see something is wrong and all that? And that's the thing. Catholics have a way of seeing that there's a lot of weird things going on with the Catholic Church, and yet they just don't put the things together and get out of this system. They will still continue to defend this system. Oops, my glasses just went down in my water. I'm sitting with some feet in some soap water, trying to. I think I still have a glass in my foot, and I just can't find it. I tried to find it yesterday. I just can't find it. Anyway, hopefully at some point it will get out. But
you show these pictures to somebody outside a Novus Ordo church, and they say, "Well, what's the problem?" This is at a Buddhist temple. I'll give you the date, May 10th, 1984.
And of course, giving a present to the Antichrist is something that, if you read the book of Luther, written from 1545, I think it is, a small book on 50 pages, or booklet, or whatever one wants to call it, in regards of the German king and the Antichrist, or the so-called Pope, and the political game, and the Antichrist, when the German king comes down, I think maybe he's not king of that. I'm not sure if he wants to. I think that's something that he wants to be recognized by the Antichrist at that point. That's something like that. And he goes down, and he doesn't have a gift with him. And I think that was something in regards that he doesn't have a gift with him. So the Antichrist is a little, don't even have a gift to me, And of course, that was something in regards to that he used the wrong, well, the Antichrist is apparently riding on a horse when he comes out to this German. It's surprising that he would ride a horse, right? But anyway, I think, if I remember correctly, he rides a horse, and the German king comes up and takes his, thing where his foot is in. I haven't really ridden on horses, but he takes it with the one hand to help support, so he can get down from the horse. But he, according to the Antichrist, he used the wrong hand. So it ends up at next, he comes out again, and then the king uses the other hand. It's just insanity.
Now, this man, Nelson Mandela, I have from a person who would know.
So he must be a Knight of Malta, I would guess. It seems to be a Knight of Malta. You see the English Queen as well. Of course, the Danish Queen, I think, was on one of these images. I don't even remember if I probably have it somewhere. Where you see the Danish Queen with the, collected together with the others, and the English Queen is sitting there with her Knight of Malta.
33rd degree Mason. Nelson Mandela recognized something is wrong. I know all you do, but you show these pictures to somebody outside a Novus Ordo church, and they say, "Well, what's the problem?" This is at a Buddhist temple. I'll give you the date, May 10th, 1984.
Oh, what was actually on
Outside a
the...
Nova Sordo church, and they say, well,
What
what's
was
wrong?
actually on the inside of that? Was that an eye?
This is at a Buddhist temple. I'll give you the date,
Still
May
hard
10th,
to see.
1984.
It looks like... No, maybe it's a building. It's hard to see.
This man, Nelson Mandela, I have from a person who would know, is a 33rd degree Mason. Nelson Mandela.
Well, besides being a Mason, he seems to be a Knight of Malta as well. It's, as you know, in regards to the symbols. But maybe in regards to the 33rd degrees, maybe there's something in regards of the knighthood getting together at that point. If I remember correctly, there are some of these higher levels that have in regards of knights of this and that.
Mandela is also a communist, and Nelson Mandela is absolutely annihilating anything that even remotely looks like Christian in South Africa. This ethnic cleansing that you're hearing about is Christian cleansing throughout the world. And as the Antichrist becomes more powerful, you're just simply going to see more and more and more of it. Now here, we have a picture of John Paul II hand in hand with the communist 33rd degree Mason, Nelson Mandela. Most all the blacks think that...
Well, it wouldn't be a problem, of course, because the guy would be working for the Antichrist. And he would probably also call him His Holiness, right? Like, you know, the presidents of America and in Israel and probably many other places. But I've seen two of the high-standing people in Israel call him His Holiness, and the U.S. as well. For example, Obama and so.
Is the great black hope to South?
Actually, I think he both called him his so-called Holy Father, yeah, and His Holiness, I think. But anyway, there's probably a lot more tapes in regards of. I haven't really, it's not something I've followed along. Just saw some on YouTube in regards of the speech of Obama and the speech in Israel as well in regards of when the Pope came to Israel and all that. I guess that must have been from many years ago, but both of these leaders of Israel is there using the word His Holiness, so-called holiness,
Africa.
Abomination.
Here he is shaking hands with the communist Mikhail Gorbachev, who's also a Mason. Okay, this is a picture of...
So he's a communist and the Mason, and yet we see also to have the link in regards of knighthood. So, yeah, let's see what he will say about Lenin, if he would say that in regards of maybe being trained by the Jesuits.
Vladimir Lenin.
But probably not, because this guy is a Roman Catholic, so I don't think he would dare to. But anyway, let's see.
This is the individual whose philosophy the United Nations supports. So says Secretary of the General Youthon. Now I have a book coming out called Unholy Alliances.
Oh, so you actually have the all-seeing eye, which is of course a symbol for Satan. He has a crown on top and that double-headed eagle. And regardless order up chaos, or chaos. In regards of order out of chaos, and then you have the 33, I would guess it would be in regards of the levels, 33 degrees in Freemasonry, which actually seems to be more than that according to the bishop. So Unholy Alliance, apparently this book is called, with a sword in the at the bottom, and a symbol I can't really see. Maybe I should take just a little screenshot of that. Anyway.
It won't be in the bookstores, I can tell you right now.
Okay, so they won't allow it in the bookstore. Well, I guess the Catholic institution might have a problem with it being in the bookstores.
And I've got a number of quotes in there on the United Nations. The people who are hanging out at the United Nations are...
You have a crucifix on the top and all that. You get the symbolic thing, so it's probably not a Protestant place,
It's just simply, in a nutshell, one word, they're Luciferian.
And by the way, the symbol over here goes really far back in history. When I was in Jerusalem, I think I have some images of it actually on coins that goes far, far back in history. So I can't remember if it was Jewish coins that I actually found the symbol at. But I think it was the museum at the south wall of, of this, of the old city where you have the temple, or where the temple stood, and the south wall. You have the western wall, you have the south wall, and you have and so forth. There's a museum lying on the south. Anyway,
the people who are hanging out at the United Nations are just simply, in a nutshell, one word, they're Luciferian. And I'm just sorry to report that, but that's just what it is. And so all of the people today who are promoting the United Nations and the concept of world government, whether they know it or whether they don't, whether they're doing it for money or whether they're doing it for power or for whatever reason they're doing it, they are promoting the philosophy and the religion of the Antichrist. Now here he is meeting with the World Council of Churches. Now, the World Council of Churches was established by Freemasonry in this country to liberalize the fundamental Protestant churches.
What did he just say?
Power, or for whatever reason they're doing it, they are promoting the philosophy and the religion of the Antichrist. Now, here he is meeting with the World Council of Churches. Now, the World Council of Churches was established by Freemasonry in this country to liberalize the fundamental Protestant churches.
So the worldwide churches was made by the Freemasons to liberalize the Protestants? Well, maybe to destroy them, not to know who the Antichrist is anymore. Well, might be one of the ways. The sound seems to have some issues here, sadly.
The idea of having an abortion was remote to Catholic or Protestant at the turn of this century.
I don't know if that's actually if there's lost some sound here, but it seems like there might actually have been
nations
lost
support. So says Secretary of the General Youthon. Now I have a book coming out called Unholy Alliances. It won't be in the bookstores, I can tell you right now. And I've got a number of quotes in there on the United Nations. The people who are hanging out at the United Nations are just simply, in a nutshell, one word, they're Luciferian. And I'm just sorry to report that, but that's just what it is. And so all of the people...
Yeah, that wouldn't be a surprise that in regards to the United Nations that they would be Luciferians, because the publishing thing in regards of Lucy Trust is in regards of Lucifer Trust, So of course that wouldn't be a problem, there wouldn't be a, surprise. And of course they want to, we have quotes in regards of, if you want to enter the, if you're not going to pledge yourself to Lucifer, you're not going to get into the New World Order. And maybe in regards to the Bible, when they talks about the mark that will allow us not to, that will not allow us, if we don't take the mark of the beast, you will not be able to buy, to buy anything. You will have a problem in regards to food. So maybe in regards to this new world order, in regards of being a Luciferian, well, we'll have to see how things works out. But things are moving very quickly.
People today who are promoting the United Nations and the concept of world government, whether they know it or whether they don't, whether they're doing it for money or whether they're doing it for power or for whatever reason they're doing it, they are promoting the philosophy and the religion of the Antichrist. Now here he is meeting with the...
And yet, it's funny that the guy haven't made the link in regards to the Antichrist being this guy in the middle. Just in the middle of that's the office and great toilet seat of the Antichrist. That's the Roman emperor, the triune tyrant, the high pagan priest, Pontifex Maximus.
World Council of Churches. Now, the World Council of Churches was established by Freemasonry in this country to liberalize.
Again, remember, Freemasonry, again on the top, are controlled by Rome. So again, even if it's Freemasons making this, it's not to say that, that Rome has nothing to do with it. Let's try again.
Won't be in the bookstores, I can tell you right now. Now that the United Nations are just simply, in a nutshell, one word, they're Luciferian. And I'm just sorry to report that, but that's just what it is. And so all of the people today who are promoting the United Nations and the concept of world government, whether they know it or whether they don't, whether they're doing it for money or whether they're doing it for power or for whatever reason they're doing it, they are promoting the philosophy and the religion of the Antichrist. Now here he is meeting with the World Council of Churches. Now the World Council of Churches...
It seems like it says that here he is meeting the in regards to the... So that's interesting as well. If he's meeting with the worldwide... What is it called? Worldwide Church. Let's try that again.
The world government, whether they know it or whether they don't, whether they're doing it for money or whether they're doing it for power or for whatever reason they're doing it, they are promoting the philosophy and the religion of the Antichrist. Now here he is meeting with the World Council of...
So here he is meeting with the council, what is it called? The World Council? Let's see.
The world government, whether they know it or whether they don't, whether they're doing it for money or whether they're doing it for power or for whatever reason they're doing it, they are promoting the philosophy and the religion of the Antichrist. Now here he is meeting with the World Council of Churches.
World Council of Churches. So here he is meeting with the World Council of Churches, which was created by Freemasonry. Okay.
Now the World Council of Churches was established by Freemasonry.
Established by Freemasons. Again, Freemasons going back to...
in this country to liberalize the fundamental Protestant churches.
To liberalize the fundamental Protestant churches. And of course we know the Jesuits is out there to what? To take down the Protestants. The Protestants are the greatest enemy for Satan, because what was it the Protestant did? They protested this wicked system. These so-called fundamentalists, right? Actually, interesting word, or maybe I should just write that down, actually. Fundamentalist, apparently I would probably be one that would be concluded as a fundamentalist. One of these dangerous, radical fundamentalists. Fundamentalist. I think I'm right, there we go. And just make it white, because why would it be automatically, keeping the thing down here, because it shouldn't be easy, right? Instead of helping you, it just, and that's the thing when they have mobiles, and then, they want you to buy a newer mobile, so, they don't really care about the old, and in regards to the software, and, they don't care about actually making, fixing the issues, because, they've moved on. It's pretty incredible that you can buy a phone for 5,000 kronos. That's what? $1,000 or something like that. So you buy a mobile for $1,000, and they don't really, they give you, a few updates, and that's it, for some years. And that, I remember my Nokia, and it was still getting updates, down, many, many years afterwards. It's incredible, the support that was on Nokia. Some of these Nokia phones that I had. Incredible how long they actually supported their mobiles. Yeah.
All the people today who are promoting the United Nations and the concept of world government.
I don't really remember having any issues with the Nokia updates either. It was not like Google crazy. Now, of course, you couldn't do as many things as you can with Android, but it didn't have these things where you needed to restart Android or restart Symbian, I think it was called, in regards to Nokia. You didn't really, there was never there was really never really anywhere you needed to restart the system because it had been running for too long or something like that. You might have an application that would break the, I think I had one application that could break it, but that was pretty much it. And that was the program's fault. It was not in regards of the system. So anyway, and it kept the time as well, even if it wasn't connected.
Whether they know it or whether they don't, whether they're doing it for money or whether they're doing it for power or for whatever reason they're doing it, they are promoting the philosophy and the religion of the Antichrist. Now here he is meeting with the World Council of Churches.
So the Antichrist is meeting with the World Church Councils, and I think I've seen other videos where he's meeting with all these different nominations and all that. Like, of course, the pagans and all that, but here is in regards of different Protestant or different, well, which pretty much is not that much Protestant anymore, is they? Are they? If they don't know who the Antichrist is anymore and they're running back to the same guy that the Protestants was protesting, it doesn't really seem like Protestants and these different groups are Protestants. Someone are not doing their job, that's for sure, in regards to these nominations.
Now, the World Council of Churches was established by Freemasonry in this country to liberalize
the problem is, I think, is that they have corrupted every single nomination out there. We know that they, sends out people to infiltrate the systems and try to get up in the higher degree of the system. And thereby, when they get to high positions, they can control it from the upside down. And that's a problem. That might be one of the faults of these nominations we have out there, to have people in high positions in some sense, because, if you can corrupt things from the upper, that's no good. So if you can just, if you have one man that pretty much is in charge of everything, who is not Christ, but just a man. Well, if you can get a Jesuit in there or whoever infiltrates, a Catholic of, that is under control of this wicked system and get him to a high position, well, you can pretty much control begin to corrupt from the inside, from the very pinnacle of, the inside of this system.
Fundamental Protestant churches. The idea of having an abortion.
So here we have a Roman Catholic actually saying that they made this to actually corrupt, and liberalize the Protestant churches.
Abortion was remote to Catholic or Protestant at the turn of this century. Everyone condemned it.
Yeah, and of course it should be condemned in regards of abortion. Abortion is murder. So, and I would probably be considered a Protestant because I protest against the Antichrist and the whore of Rome and so forward. So I think I will probably be, one of these fundamentalist, radical Protestants and so forth. Anyway, I think that would probably be pretty spot on. Or whatever you want to call it in regards of, radical, whatever. If there was someone that was radical, it was Jesus that was radical. So it's not really a bad thing, right? And it's not a bad thing to be a fundamentalist either, I think, in regards if you believe and stand on the Bible. And in regards of being a Protestant, that protests the Antichrist, I don't think that's a bad thing either, So anyway, so here we have a Roman Catholic talking about, that apparently the Freemasons, again, using, saying that it's the Freemasons, yet connecting that the Antichrist is actually, being together with this group. You just see the links, and it's really sad that he can't really connect all the dots.
The idea of having a divorce, the same thing, but no more. And it only shows the amount of brainwashing that they've done. How did they do it? TV, television, movies, videos, and the school system. How in the name of God can you teach sex education and not have kids want to do sex? How can you hand out condoms in a school and not have kids want to experiment using them? It's absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah, I would agree with them. This is absolutely insane. But of course, the problem is he doesn't really give the fault where fault should be, and I think we could fault the Rome for these things, sadly. Well, not sad, but that's the, why are we not teaching our youngs in regards of keeping pure until marriage? Find a good wife or find a good husband, and go from there. And just teaching them sex education. I remember there was some disgusting things in these sex education. You got a CD and all that. Give me a break. Oh, if you use condoms, apparently it's okay to commit whoredom. Of course not. It doesn't become right just because you have a condom on. It might protect you against these sexual diseases. But if you just did what God have told us to do, there would be a less likely chance of actually getting an issue.
You don't have to be Catholic. You don't have to be Baptist. You don't have to be anything. You could be a doggone pagan atheist. And why can't you figure out that if your kid's in that school system, he's getting indoctrinated into a Baal cult?
That's interesting. Indoctrinated, I guess. Why would indoctrinated? Maybe. Does that mean the same? Indoctrinated, doctrinated? Doctrinated, maybe.
That's what it is. It's Baal worship. Do you understand?
But anyway, the guy knows, he's pointing to a lot of links, and he's a Roman Catholic, yet he doesn't put all the pieces together.
Religions focus on some form or another of sexual perversion. That's a known fact. All pagan religions.
I remember reading some stories when they did a lot of destroying in the Roman Catholic churches. And there was something in regards of a statue. When they destroyed the statues, there were phalluses running out of the statue. They had hidden phalluses in the statue. I think it was a documentary or something like that I saw in regards of it. That there was like penises inside the statue. How this is utterly
regardless
outrageous.
Of which one it is, all stem from one form or another of sexual.
Not fleshly, but things that cut out or something like that in the statue.
Perversion. You see, I'm only now figuring out that all of this stuff that's.
Or maybe there was stone penises. I can't remember what it. But it's not. It's not like But it was. What's it called? A graven image, or what do you call the cutout thing in regards to these penises found in the idol. I can't remember the details. It's long time, but it wouldn't be a surprise in regards to this filthy religion of Roman Catholicism.
Isolated. People are fighting this problem, and people are fighting that problem, and people are fighting this problem over here. Whatever it is, and not that they shouldn't. They should. But this all falls within the arena, all falls within the amphitheater of sorcery, is what it is. And they are initiating our children in this country and around the world into one form or another of mysticism or pagan occultism. And what did we say?
I do wonder if this guy actually still lives, They might have killed him off, you never know. But anyway, we're looking for the Opalex thing, and we really didn't get to that point. Let's try.
To promote ecumenism. And in nations, which do you have communist essence importance for members of the occult? Do you have communists against Christ? But you have Buddhists against Christ, and Hindus against Christ, and Jehovah's Witnesses against Christ, and Mormons against Christ.
What sign is that guy actually doing at that point? What sign is the Antichrist doing? Let's see that again.
Possibly be happening.
Look at the hand sign. Let's see if he actually makes the horn sign of.
But you see, the whole world is against Christ. This is the scariest thing of all. Because not only do you have communists against Christ, but you have Buddhists against Christ and Hindus against
It's a little hard to see the sign he's
Christ.
making.
Jehovah's Witnesses against Christ and Mormons against
Come
Christ.
on.
Martin Wagner, do you have
Come on.
communists against Christ?
The camera is just,
But
you
you
know,
have Buddhists against
he's getting ready to make, you know,
Christ and
see? No.
Hindus
Come on, give me a
against
good, it's hard to see when it,
Christ.
oh, come on, give me a,
Jehovah's
there seems to be some nice,
Witnesses
but you
against
can't
Christ
really,
and Mormons.
let's try again.
This is the scariest thing of all.
Just needs to hit one of the better
Because not
pictures.
only do you have communists against Christ, but you have Buddhists against Christ and Hindus against Christ. And
Now,
Jehovah's Witnesses against Christ and Mormons
I would
against
need
Christ.
to be. It does seem to making, but
But you see, the
can I do it like
whole world
second
is
for
against
second
Christ.
or something like that?
This is the scariest thing of
Let's see.
all. Because not only do you have
Only take it down to 50% here.
against Christ,
Okay, I'll just
but you have
yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay, it's collecting. Well, would have been nice if the camera could just have turned a little bitly, you know, just a little to the left. There you go. Okay, he's collecting his fingers there, and then whoa! Come on, give me a good moment. No. Nope. That's really hard to. He has his finger up there, and he has his thumb up there, and it looks like he's making this, you know, this satanic sign. But anyway, let's try to get some.
on Freemasonry. And I do not have the time tonight to go through all of it. But he did one snap job, let me tell you, of researching what was termed the sacred mysteries. You're going to hear a lot about this. It's all in the bookstores today. All this stuff about the mysteries. You're seeing more and more stuff from the Aztecs and the Incas and the Egyptians and the Mayans and the Zunis and so on and so forth.
Yeah, if you ask me in regards of, I pretty much concluded years ago that we see a new growth in regards to Christian, the Christian truth is growing exponential, and the same thing with the occult, and they're both growing. So the new, all these satanic things, it's very easy to get, and a lot of people are interested in these things. And yet you also see on the Christian sides where people out there, there might not be that many, but you also see them trying to find out what is actually true and what is, and searching as well. And it's going really quickly on both fronts in regards of regaining, either the satanic occult stuff or in regards to truth of the Bible and history.
Where's this all coming from? He says, having taken, and I'm on page 248, so he's done 247 pages of proof, okay, already. Having taken for our guidance the statements of eminent Freemasons, that if we would get the thought of Freemasonry and the hidden meaning of its rites, we must go to the ancient mysteries of Syria, Greece, Egypt, Samothracia, and Sidon, and other nations of antiquity and study those institutions and discover their ideas of the divine.
Paganism.
He says if Freemasonry is the mysteries restored, the task need not be difficult nor fruitless. It is with this religion set forth in the mystery that Freemasons claim for their institution a unity, harmony, and identity. They claim and profess to set forth the same religious ideas, worship the same deity, and employ in their religious and moral instruction the same hieroglyphic methods and art speech that prevailed in those cults. And so what he has said...
And actually, sometimes they open up in regards of Copenhagen by night here in Denmark. And I haven't really gone there, but... they have an opening for the Freemason lodges and all that, and you know, some have made videos of that, and you can see the statues of, you know, pagans things around and all that. You know, it's just, yeah, why would that be any? Why would, you know, how can you even say as a Freemason that this is a Christian institution? You have to be, you know, it's totally outrageous.
And here is, if this is what they say is true, if this stuff is hidden, it's no problem, right? We just got to go back there and see what it's all about. Of course, how many people, even Masons, are willing to do that, right? How many Catholics are willing to go back and see what the Church Fathers said about anything? Very few. So he goes back. He says... Bear with me because I know how hard it is to be read to, and especially at this hour. In the foregoing chapters, we have shown from trustworthy sources the nature and essence of the religion of the mysteries, their notions and conceptions of the divine nature. You know, they're always talking about divinity, and the divine acts as they obtained in them and for which they as institutions stood. We have found that the religious acts, ACTS, consisted in paying homage to the generative principle or the reproductive power in its several aspects in nature and in man. The mysteries involved in the generation of life are the facts upon which the mysteries as religious institutions were founded, and to the processes involved in the former, the rites of the latter were conformed. If then there is a unity in the religious ideas and conceptions of the divine nature in the mysteries and Freemasonry, upon Masons' own confessions and declarations, the proof is conclusive that Freemasonry is a sex cult, in which the generative powers are adored and worshipped under disguised phallic rites and symbols.
But in regards of these sexual principles, it seems to actually find the same thing in regards of Roman Catholicism hidden in front of your noses. I think it's Walter White that has a lot on that, where he shows these things and where he tells you what these symbols actually is about. He's from the SDA, but anyway. Just be aware that there might be some SDA 11 in those. But, you know, yeah, they have a lot of, you know, it's like 40 hours or something like that. Or, I can't remember, it's so many hours that he has of material. It's, you know.
Phallicism.
And, you know, images and pictures and explanations and all that.
Is the essence of the religion of the mysteries. And phallicism is the essence of the religion of Freemasonry.
So he says the phalanx is the, according to him anyway, let's try that and listen to that again.
The generative powers are adored and worshipped under disguised phallic rites and symbols. Phallicism is the essence of the religion of the mysteries, and phallicism is the essence of the religion of Freemasonry.
Okay, in regards of phalluses, that's like an obelix, it's a penis, erect penis in some sense, you know. But we'll get into that. So he says it's in regards of Freemasonry. Interesting.
With that in mind, let's go through a few more acetates. This is a picture of the Washington Monument. Every picture virtually that you see of Washington, D.C., recently you see on the cover of books, every time you look, you see a picture of the Washington Monument. This has very, very much importance for members of the occult, because you see, the Washington Monument, to members who understand the occult, they know the Washington Monument is a symbol for the phallus. If you fly over the Washington Monument, there is a circular pool around it, which basically is a dot, meaning a dot in a circle. If you look at it from the air, can you understand what I'm saying? And a dot in a circle is a symbol for sun worship. If you go to Pat Robertson's book,
and you get him, it's and we also saw it in alchemy. Just look up alchemy in regards to the sun symbol. It's a dot in the middle and a round circle. In regards to alchemy material, there's a lot of these things in regards of information and all that. But I wouldn't really go into just read the Bible. It's much more. But there's a lot of vanity out there for sure in regards to the occult.
A book called The Millennium, there is a dot in the middle of a circle on every single page. A dot within the circle was the symbol used by the Illuminati. And in the ancient Mayan religion, it was used to signify.
And of course, in regards of alchemy, but again, alchemy can also be connected to Roman Catholic priests as well. Funny enough. Well.
Ra, the sun god. And so this is where we get the sacred mysteries. You see, we've been living with them and never known it. I did not know this myself until relatively recently. Now, this is not anything that jumped out of a hat. It's nothing new. This stuff has been going along, marching through time, right along with Christianity for pretty much ever. And the proof of the point is that Washington Monument is a perfect copy of Cleopatra's Needle, which came from Egypt. And there is I'm not sure if it's the exact one or one very similar that has now been moved to Central Park, New York. And so, it's funny, once you start understanding these things, we were looking through a furniture book the other day. And those little furniture books, how nicely they put everything together, everything's the right color. You women know. You say, boy, I wish I could do like that. And right on the coffee table, there was what we term these as obelisk. And now we see it on fireplaces behind actors in movies, and we see it here and we see it there. I tell people about these things and they report back, hey, I saw one and it was here. They're all over the place. But you got to know what these things are. The occult knows. They've known for years. It's high time we figured it out. Okay. I took this picture myself outside the Masonic temple.
So, what this guy forgets to say, he talks about, these phalluses are around everywhere and all that. But he forgot to mention one thing, because he's defending the religion of, still pointing out things that is problematic, in regards to the Roman Catholic Church, in regards to the Antichrist and all that, what he's doing and this and that, and yet never actually linking all the pieces together. But, you see Peter's Square. It would, of course, be interesting to actually see it from above as well, to see if we can see if it's like round as well as the image of the sun symbol, because it all seems to be, going around in regards of the sun. like the solar system, I guess, in regards of where they say we are going around the sun. Now I can't confirm that or not, but anyway. But here we go. We have right in the middle. What is that in the middle of? In the Vatican. And it's rounding round, and you have the round wheel all around. So what is that? And the Roman Catholics will say, oh, but there's a cross on top, so now it has been Christianized. That's how you do it. You just put a cross on top of something and then it's Christianized. Yeah, I also read something in regards of the Antichrist at some point were out there to, what do you call it, get the demons out of the idol or something like that and whatever. Anyway, but in any case, when you talk to Roman Catholics, like, oh, there's a cross on top of it, so there's no problem with it anymore. Oh, really? Or maybe there's some symbolic, things going on here. And so let's see here. Can we actually see it from above, maybe? Yeah, and he never mentioned this. And this is a Roman Catholic guy, and talking about, oh, the Freemasons, the opposite of Roman Catholicism and blah, blah, blah. And he's talking about these phalluses standing all around the world and blah, blah, blah. And he never, ever mentions the one that stands in the Vatican, in the front yard of the Antichrist. Isn't that interesting? Never making that link. I think that's very interesting. And see if we can get out here. It might be a little slow. And go to the Vatican. Maybe we can just push the Vatican in. I don't know. Let's try. Vatican. 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 Let's see. It's a little slow here. Let's try. And this is also one of these Google Oh, Vatican City. Okay. Oh, it's slow. Uh-oh. Maybe I should just not touch it, but anyway. Vatican City. And the Vatican Museum and all that. So, if I remember correctly, they have a lot of pagan statues and all. I'm like, why wouldn't they just destroy it all, Okay, let's see. So it would be right down here, if I remember. It should be no. That's the Vatican at this point. I would think, yeah, it should be here, but the map is maybe not that good. Oh, can I really get a real map of it? I think it would be like here, but there's not really anything, see if it's probably the right place, but I would have liked to actually see a real image of, oh, I have actually Google Earth, by the way. That might actually be possible then to do it on that. And here we have the front yard of the Antichrist. And what is that? Why would anyone Christian have this standing in his front yard? Well, I don't know. Maybe because he's the Antichrist. I have the thing, the home of the Antichrist. Pretty much. But anyway, so this is an erect Egyptian penis. This is actually, if I remember correctly, this is actually from Egypt. And it was standing in the arena of the Roman old empire. Or the old Roman, where they had this arena and so forward. And then it was moved to this place. Why would you ever move this disgusting thing, if you are a Christian, to your, place? Well, maybe because you're not Christian. Maybe because you are actually the high pagan priest of paganism. Might be the case. Let's see if we can use Google Earth on this. We need to zoom out. I'll get over to Italy. Oh, I might just, let's get the right direction here. There we go. Let's go to Rome. I wonder, can I actually search? Maybe I can search Vatican City. Oh, no. Well, we're going to Rome. Well, we wanted the Vatican City, not the Vatican Museum. But they have a lot of pagan stuff in the, as you can see, a lot of statues and all that. I would pretty much just destroy everything, but that's just me. Why would you ever have these disgusting idols standing, with over 7 kilometers of art galleries, the Vatican Museum is among the largest in the world. You have all these pagan statues and all that in this place. Oh, that's actually pretty nice in regards of 3D. And it's still loading, I guess. So that's the Vatican Museum. And I get that must be the bank, I think. This round thing, maybe? I haven't really, I haven't done much study in regards of... So if the Vatican Museum is there, it should be... Oh, there we go. Oh, so I guess that might be the entrance, maybe, for the... I must say, it looks, now, of course, it's still loading and all that, but overall, it's looking pretty good in regards of 3D, That's pretty incredible, that you can just do like this in our days, I guess. It looks, like the real world. That's, I do wonder in regards of like car games or, in my past I played games like, Grand Theft Auto. I really wondered why they didn't really use some real cities so you could actually learn something, For example, if you could drive around in Copenhagen, for example, you could learn a lot in regards of Copenhagen, in regards to the roads and so forward. If it said which road you're driving on and this and that and having a game, at least you would learn something at the same time. Uh-oh, we have some problems in regards to the battery, apparently. Let's see if we can put something in it. There we go. Running again. So here we have and also we have this thing, snaky thing. When you see it from the inside, it's, it looks like, and I think it's down here, that's the Antichrist sitting there. And these eyes of the snake, you have some images where you can see it just looks like a snake, And why would it be like a snake? Well, maybe because it's the head of the institution of, the most wicked deception of the old snake. You can, see the shape of it in regards of, like a snake. But anyway, you can go and look for more. Let's see if it's going to load more. It should be able to do some more graphic. Yeah, there we go. And it's kind of weird windows to have as well, right? But anyway, when you see it from the inside, it's very snaky, yeah. So has a lot of weird and the big ball on top of it. Oh, anyway, let's get to the thing that we were interested in, right? So as we can see, we have the penis standing in the middle within a wheel, and we have like wheels in a wheel, maybe. See if we can just get it. There we go. There we go. We have it in the middle there. And let's just get a little out. What is these things standing in the... Anyway, it doesn't seem to be exactly round as the... Apparently there's a wheel as well out here, maybe? Seems to... Is that going all around? That seems to go... No, that's... Okay, that's in regards of the street, so that's not really in the image. So you have the wheel around, but it does looks like there's a wheel in here as well, or some things on the... Oh well, but there you go. It doesn't really look exactly round, you know, it's round of course, but it looks more a little like oval, round. Doesn't seem like it's exactly round. Of course, I guess it doesn't need to, but I don't know. I do wonder what these two guys are. Oops. I see. Okay, can I actually go around and see? Maybe it's like light or something like that? Oh yeah, maybe it's... No? Oh, give me a break. Let's see, can we... Oh. It's like a spring or something like that. Fontana Gemala del Bernini or something like that. Sinistra. Oh. Okay, water thing. Okay. Guess one can't see what is actually written on it. Would have been nice to be able to see the text on the... But anyway, he just forgot to mention this. Standing in... seems to be loading still or something like that. It doesn't have the top. A sun wheel, I think it's called. Oh, can't see it's across yet. We have a Fontana del Bernini Destra. I guess that must be another of in regards of a spring. Yep. Oops. Nope, still not loaded totally. But anyway, you can go look for it yourself. And I just wonder why he wouldn't mention that. Yet mention in regards to the Freemasons, have them standing around in the world. And never mentioning that there might actually, in regards of Rome, be standing one in the Vatican. So I do wonder where Italy is actually then starting, if it's actually starting on the front gate or no, because there should be like two cities, right? There's the Vatican, which is a city, a nation, the smallest nation as far as I understand it, in the world. Yeah, here we have Vatican City, Musea Vaticani, Vatican City, oh well. And we have Pantheon. I guess that might... Oh, the place where they had all the idols of the old. Maybe. Yeah, Roman temple in Rome. Oh. Is there other images of it? Oh, there we have another of these phallexes standing. Oh, oops. Let's try again. So that's another one to the right, having the signature of the Vatican. I can't zoom into it, but you can see there's like this, the triune, what is it called? You know, the crown and the keys of the Vatican seems to be on it. And then you have a penis, another penis standing. Oh, there's a cross on top of it as well. And is that like Egyptian signs on it or something like that? Might actually be Egyptian signs. Oh yeah, but it's a Christian institution. Oh really? Really? So that's yeah, at the old pagan place, and still statues in it. And again, Egyptian. If this actually has Egyptian markings on it, I'm not sure if the one in the Vatican actually has Egyptian markings on it. But you know, what did Jesus say, or what did God say? Don't go back to Egypt, right? You know, don't, you know, why do you want to go back to Egypt? And then you have an institution that, you know, I think it should be pretty. It should be a warning signal for anyone if that is Egyptian on the. I can't see it from the picture here, but, and of course, idolatry. You know, as usual, I guess. You know. The whole houses of Satan. You know, pretty much. And sugary things. And if this is actually going back to the Roman emperor in regards of sun worship, well, what's on top of it? Is that to symbolize the sun? If they were into sun worship, well, maybe that might be the case. Maybe they might want it to symbolize the sun if they are worshiping the sun. You know, I don't know. I haven't been down there, so I you know, I'm just looking at the images. But if this is the pantheon going back before Christianity, well, what would the building maybe have represented? Well, in regards to the sun. You know, in regards of, yeah, so you have the sun at the top of it, shining into, you know, I don't know, just, I wonder if there might have been images in those holes, or what, I don't know. And of course here we have, you know, you see the Vatican thing as well there, and a lot of demons and this and that, you know, this, yeah. And there we go with idolatry, it seems, you know. There's probably people up there bowing in front of these idols or this crucifix and, you know, making the upside cross and blah, 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 you know. I'm not sure what these other, maybe it's from the dead or something like that, dead people, I don't know. You know, I don't really want to know much about this pagan religion, you know. And there we go with there's a picture up there, probably some kind so-called Mary thing with the child, you know. Oh yeah, there we go. It looks, you know, if this was built in the days before Roman Catholicism, or before it actually became Roman Catholicism, of course the whole writes the seventh beast, so she would already have been there in the days of Jesus, when he was revealed. Yeah, images and idols, and you know, and if you are probably there, you would probably see a lot of abominations happening from people, you know, bowing down, making the upside cross, and on their knees and whatever, you know, disgusting, utterly disgusting. Anyway, so we found two of these, you know, these. But anyway, the guy doesn't never mention this. He just, you know, oh, it's the Freemasons that, you know, is totally into this, this phallus thing, and yet his own religion has a phallus in, the Antichrist has a phallus in his front yard, and yet the other thing seems to also be in regards to Roman Catholicism having the seal of the Antichrist, and yet he never mentions it. He never ever mentions it. Isn't it that interesting? Maybe it would have been too, I go into in regards of Madame Helena Blavatsky and all that, and that's different of these occult that are very popular and all this satanic thing. Anyway, you can go look it up for yourself if you want to see what the name is. But just be aware he's a Roman Catholic. Doesn't stay at the place where it was last time. It's very annoying. I don't know if I can set it up for that. Yeah, there we go. It's called the Communist and Masonic Infiltration of America and the Catholic Church. So it's the Communist and Masonic Infiltration of America and the Catholic Church. Well, they were mentioning that communism and, the Masonry might actually be controlled by this Roman Catholic insane asylum. Here we have Mrs. Alberto Rivera interviews former Bishop Garrett Bafford, and he's talking about some of the things. There's also an interview in regards of Eric John Phelps with Greg Szymanski and Bishop Garrett as well. And anyway, different things, just doing some studies here and there. Ex-Jesuit book reveals true agenda. That's very wicked. It would be interesting to actually get the book, because it seems to have some, exposing the secret Jesuit, and if you read the Jesuit oath and then look at some of the things that is written in this book, it just seems like totally awful, a lot, incredible, awful. I wonder when it was written, but it would be an interesting book to get. Maybe I can get it on PDF or something like that at some place. Here we have a so-called, whatever you want, in regards of a nun, Charlotte, disturbing and shocking confessions of a Roman Catholic nun, and as I understand it, she actually disappeared 2 years later, never to be found, apparently, as, they talk about that in the beginning, that, you could ask the Antichrist where she actually, where she went. Mir ist Erbarmung widerfahren. Oh, that's a German song and all that. And Alberto Rivera in regards of different things and infiltration, and his wife says that he was killed, and it seems like Alberto also confessed or said that he was killed by the Jesuit by poison. So, no surprise there if they did, The guy seems to have known a lot of things. And there was another guy, but I don't understand why he would use the front thing on his book, because he's using this, showing a picture of St. Peter's Place, or Peter's Place, would probably not be there's a pagan penis, Egyptian penis standing there, Why would you ever have that on your book? I don't know. It's just seems kind of disgusting to me. I don't really want to have, such a thing in my home, But it might be an interesting book in any case. He died afterwards. Apparently, Alberto Rivera said that he was killed. So he has a cartoon about that. But at least he got to write one book before he died. That's, as I understand it, exposed, some of the things. But I haven't read it, but, that's one book to maybe look into. Yeah, anyway, I'll stop here. I'm not even sure if it actually runs good enough because of, it seems to have some issues. I should probably check the video out and see if it actually runs okay or if it actually flips around, because there's no idea in uploading videos if it's, not really working. Anyway, have a good one. Bye bye. May Jehovah bless you. May Yeshua be that most precious pearl, and don't let go of him when you have him. Find out who he is and so forward. Because the devil will try his many tricks. And may the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth, be in us all. Amen.